Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Trenches, episode 6 coming at you from our studios in Braintree, Mass. We got a good one today, as always. I'm your co-host, Justin. We got Steve, SK, and Don Gordon. What's going on, boys?
How you living, bro? How you living?
We're doing all right. And you know what? We're doing all right because we got a great show. And one of the reasons we got a great show is because we got a very special guest coming our way. Fitz Mofor. He played football. He had a great career, finished it off at UAB. We're going to talk to him a little about his journey, some of the struggles, trials, and tribulations along the way. You know, where he started, where he ended up, kind of how it all came together, what's going on now. What's going on, man? How you doing? Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me, man.
No doubt. Welcome.
For sure. Welcome to the Trenches. Trench Talk. Honestly, I don't know, I'm sure go ahead and talk to you a little bit, but we kind of talk about whatever here, you know what I mean? We get into it like, as far as like the on the field stuff, but we love getting into the off the field stuff, the nitty gritty, like, what really motivates people, whether it be for the good or the bad, and kind of just get deep and dirty. And there's really nothing off limits in the Trench Talk. We're kind of all open books here. And, at the end of the day, it's because I think it benefits more people to hear real raw talk about their stories than it does to sugarcoat anything, So I kind of want to turn it over to you and kind of just hear a little bit about like, your background and in your own words, kind of how it all started, your football career and everything.
Tell us the whole story, all the truth and nothing but the truth. Let us know, all right?
Everything.
The whole truth
now. See, I always got to pull him back. See, I always got to pull him back on this. Do not expose yourself on here, man. All right? Exactly.
You may or may not be able to incriminate yourself later.
Don't do it. But yeah, man, get us hip. Like, tell us about your journey, how it all started, where it ended. We want to know all of it, bro.
And okay, so usually what I tell people is, would they like to hear like the simplified version or just like in depth detail, like year by year basis, chronologically?
Yeah. Tell us what you want to tell us, brother. Come on now. It's real. It's real here, bro. Don't gotta chair.
Actually, real quick before you start, right? Just real quick. I know we got the computer over here, but I just want to move it right here, just that when we look at you, we're kind of looking at the camera too, just real quick, so we're not looking off to the side the whole episode.
Yeah. That's wicked smart.
I just kind of noticed that we were doing that, so
that's wicked smart, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. Just
right there.
Let me just put that right here.
Gotcha.
It seemed like a good idea at the time, Noah.
My bad.
No, it's not your bad at all. We like innovativeness and thinking around here.
God damn it.
It doesn't always work out, but that's all right. We try. All right, cool. So sorry, man. What's going on? How
lay it for us. Lay it for us.
Let's hear it.
Oh. But,
can you hear
Go ahead, Fitz. Go lay it for us.
Yeah. Okay,
cool.
But to say the least, what it initially started as, we had a pretty good football team in high school in Maryland, and my 8th grade year, they actually won the state championship, and they ended up going 14-0 and undefeated, and actually ended the season 25th in the nation on max preps. And oddly enough, I actually started as a soccer player, and I was enthralled by soccer, and I loved, the game. I think it's still the most beautiful game in the world. But I had a decision to make. Well, am I going to play football or am I going to play soccer in high school? And ultimately, the success of the football team made my decision a lot easier and made me want to join the football team. For reasons some could say it's vanity, but it's just me being as truthful as possible. As a child in the 9th grade, I was like, hey, I want to join the football team. They're popular. I'm sure all the girls like the football players. So
the cheerleaders for them chicks. Yeah. You know how it is.
Come on.
Right. But I always had a passion for athletics, so I just didn't know what sport it would be. But after years in high school, I grew to have an immense passion just for football specifically.
Right.
So after going through the trials and tribulations of high school football, unfortunately, as an undersized linebacker, by metric standards, I was typically shorted for Division I linebacker. So my recruiting process in high school was relatively lackluster, I should say the least. So didn't leave high school with any scholarship offers at all. Went to prep school. And then also I could take accountability where I was very immature, and I didn't understand the importance of education and GPA and SAT scores and so on and so on. Yep. So by those standards, I was kind of on the shorter side too as well. So I went to preparatory school to give me the opportunity to reopen my recruiting process as well as uplift my core GPA as well. And it turned out okay. I ended up signing to Florida A&M. Was there for 3 to 4 months. Did not work out at all.
Yeah,
although I had the greatest time ever.
Oh, I bet you did. Yeah, we know about the HBCUs. Yeah, we know about the HBCUs.
Bro, I see you cruising them snaps, bro. You act like I ain't seen them when I was at Elon. I saw you chilling, bro.
Man, I mean, Tallahassee is just the greatest environment.
Different world, ain't it?
Swampland.
It's something to do with every single night. And as I detailed earlier, my core GPA was not good. So part of the stipulations of me being allowed in the Florida A&M, I had to pass every single of my core classes that summer. And then stupid stuff. Being immature, I failed one of the classes and I had to move on. Yeah. So I ended up going to Glenville State in West Virginia. I was there for about 1.5 years.
Oh, yeah.
My first year. Yeah. A small school in West Virginia, Division II school.
Yeah.
Went there, medical redshirted my first year. Had what's the injury? A meniscus tear. Oh, and I had it repaired. Sat down the year. It's fine. And then I came back the next year, and I played about 11 games of 13 games, if I'm not mistaken. And I ended up winning MEC Freshman of the Year. And it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. We were so close to making it to the championship game, but we lost a fair amount at the end. I'll remember that until I'm 95.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Those are our rivals too. So I get through with that, and at the end of the football season, I just feel like I'm missing something. I want more.
Right.
I feel like I could compete at a higher level. And I tell my family and friends, you know what? I think I'm a Division I football player. And everyone just looked at me like I was insane. Family, friends, like, what are you talking about? You're starting at a school already. You're getting scholarship money. You just want a high accomplishment. Why would you want to leave? And I just had a burning desire. I was just so fixated on playing Division I football. So I get out of there, and my 3 options were UAB, Maryland, and Iowa State. And I think what made me want to go to UAB was the year that we had, because initially the program was shut down.
Oh, yeah. I'm very familiar with it. I was in Florence at the time. I was in Florence, Alabama. Yeah, so I'm very familiar.
Crazy, crazy story. So I leave Glenville, and that following spring semester, I take all of my stuff and I fly down to Birmingham and I show up to the football facility. I mean, we've had prior conversations too with the football coaches, but I think initially it was like a shock. Like,
now, I got a quick question. Hold on. I got a real quick question for you. I'm very familiar with Birmingham, Alabama. Shout out to my boy Hastings, coach. I see you, big dog. But how did you feel when you touched down in Birmingham, Alabama, and you got to see First 48 territory?
Birmingham.
And you know exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
First 48.
Because you can go right outside the city limits and there's beautiful mansions and hollers and all the live long day, just beautiful everything. Until you get into city limits and you see the real shit.
You couldn't have detailed it any better. I mean, you have like Vestavia Hills, you have Hoover, Mountain Brook, and then yes, it looks like suburbia American big houses. And then you get down to the city, Birmingham is like, whoa, it's a big culture shock. And just as you detailed it earlier, it is First 48. I think it has an extremely high murder rate in Birmingham, in the city of Birmingham.
Yeah, right next to Legion Field, bro.
Right next to Legion Field. Yeah, exactly.
Played there a few times.
Fairfield. What's that other city that was very notorious too as well? Man, it's Garden City, and there's another one. Ensley.
Ensley.
Okay. Yeah. Fairfield, Ensley, Gardens, those cities, and like you said, city of Birmingham. Yep. Yeah, it was good. It was really bad out there. And just my first experience coming and touching down. It's funny, I'm moving too far ahead, but the food in Birmingham is amazing.
Best. No. Best ever. I'm not going to dispute that.
Really? Y'all saying all the places you've been up and down the East Coast, you say that Birmingham, Alabama, has the best food.
Man.
Gordon, when I got to Birmingham in 30 days, I gained 30 pounds.
He's not lying.
Yo,
he's not lying.
260 linebacker showing up to camp. 260 showing up to
You ain't fucking lying, bro.
I mean, the Southern hospitality is real, so they give you so much food with just a little price. I remember we had this place called Exotic Wings and Things.
Exotic Wings and Things. Damn, that sounds spicy.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So, and this is I just can't the names. I've been around for so long. I can't remember what street it was, but you can bring $9.99 and you can get 10 wings, Cajun fries, and a large like sweet tea cup this big.
A gallon.
And that's just like for $10.
No wonder everybody in Alabama got diabetes. Damn.
I mean, it's real. I mean, it's real. It's right there in front of your face. Like, for real. That's how you can gain all that weight with no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then just that's just the culture down there. You know, they love to eat. They have so many gas station chicken spots with fries. I mean, and then it's extremely frugal too as well. So I think that just makes it even worse. Pardon me, I'm sorry. But I get down there and I think the coaches were a little startled because I don't think they were expecting me that early. So I show up with all my stuff at the facility. Right. And the coach was like, oh, I mean, we spoke to you, but okay, we'll see if we can get you in. So I'm waiting around, going through the process. And when the coach says, Fitz, unfortunately, we had to get all our scholarship guys in this semester. And we don't necessarily have a spot for you now. But what you can do is go to the local community college, which is Jeff State in Hoover, about 20 minutes away. Yep. Go there for the semester and then enroll into the summer semester. So mind you, this is my third time transferring, third or fourth time transferring. So I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, I think I have to come back in the summertime. You know, when's my next plane ticket home? My dad's like, you're not coming back home.
Real shit, sink or swim.
He says, "Sight, you thought you had a family.
Sink or swim, son. Sink or swim, son. Find out.
So,
find a way.
You gonna learn today."
I go to the community college for 6 months. It was cool, and I arrived to the UAB facilities in the springtime, and which they admitted me, which was awesome. We go through the summer conditioning program, and then we start the fall. And this was very odd. Because usually when you go through a camp and you go through the dog days of practice and being there from 6 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, you would typically get rewarded with a football schedule or football season at the end of that. Right. But for me, it was kind of weird. Well, actually, for me, I thought it was the best case scenario, but it still was a little weird just because we didn't have a football season and we just scrimmaged against each other as it was a game every Saturday.
But how was that for you? Like late, because I mean, like knowing for me, like when I got, you know, you go to the dog days of camp, you're doing 2 days, 3 days, doing your thing. When it was illegal to do 3 days, you can't even do that no more. But being able to do all them jumps and then being like, all right, now it's game week. We playing like I'm playing Georgia Tech the first week of the game. I'm crazy. I'm hype, and that's kind of helping me with that momentum for the rest of the season. Like, how are you able to handle a fall with no games? Like that's crazy to me.
I remember, like, you have to have a different level and you have to strongly have a deep levels of intestinal fortitude, just to be able to have that passion, just, okay, next year we're going to play. And then it was even worse for me because when I first got there, being a body guy, you know, when you're a walk-on coming to a lot of these institutions, you're typically just a practice body. So the first 2 to 3 days of practice, I just didn't get any reps. I just watched, which was extremely frustrating for me. Because I'm like, dang, am I ever going to get the opportunity to prove myself? Am I going to, the coach is going to allow me to show my capabilities, what I can and cannot do? And I remember just talking to one of the GAs at the time. He just told me, Fitz, be patient and be careful. Just don't rush it. Don't rush the process. And your time's going to come. And I was so happy that we had that conversation because it made me a lot more patient and allowed me, let me get mental reps now so I'm prepared for my physical reps when I do get them. Right. So honestly, I think me going to UAB was the best case scenario for me instead of going into a regular institution, only because we've had that year to kind of show our skills and our capabilities and let the coaches what we can and cannot do. Right. So got there, practiced every day. Practiced every day, scrimmaged each other every Saturday for the next 6 months. And luckily enough for me, Yeah, for 6 months.
It's crazy.
I would hate life. I would hate life so much if I had to deal with that. I'm just thinking, bro, 30
I'll
days.
punch everybody who say something wrong to me. Oh my
Fights
God.
every practice. Bro, why you trying so hard? We ain't got no games this week. Stop hitting me.
Those a lot of times stuff like that would start fights. Like, yo, for the guys. And honestly, I think like those kind of separated between like the good guys and the great guys, because there were some guys who were there just to be in jerseys, unfortunately. But I think
just
that's
to say that they were on the team.
Just to say that on the team. But I think
look, Mom, I'm in the team.
Yeah, I hate that shit so much. Man. Taking motherfucking spots that really want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I got for right.
It's a small, minute demographic though. It's
Very,
small,
it is. But even still, it's just, you know. We'll leave it alone. Yeah.
Watch. You about to get a couple phone calls after this. Be like, hey, Fitz, I heard you talking about me on that podcast, bro.
Like,
oh, you talking about that podcast, bro.
Hey, man, I mean, it is what it is, but it was great. So I earned a scholarship in the beginning of the next spring.
Yes, that was huge. I remember hearing about that. That was so big.
Yeah, walk us through that process, bro. Like, tell us all about it. Yeah.
So that was life-changing for me, because part of the stipulations of me earning a scholarship, well, and this is probably how it goes for every university for walk-ons, you have to break the 2 deep on the depth chart. So you have to be a player. I mean, sometimes we have a lot of players on scout team that contribute to the team, and, you know, just like special teams is just important. Right. Offense, defense, 3 facets to the game, which they're all extremely important. But typically you will have walk-on guys who contribute a lot to the special teams, but aren't necessarily on scholarship. But if you're able to contribute or become a starter on offense or defense, typically the coach almost feels like he's obligated to reward you with a scholarship. Right. So I grinded, stayed after practice, did more workouts after workouts, more sprints after conditioning, ladder drills, linebacker drops, tackling dummies, etc. Just doing anything I can.
Yeah, behind the scenes stuff. Yeah,
yes.
Right.
Just doing anything I can to impress the coaching staff. So spring rolls around, and the first week of spring ball, I'm killing it. I'm doing very well. That's only because I was prepared, and then also I had an extremely good linebacker coach that I'll go into that later, and I speak glowingly about him. I can go on and on and on and on.
Yeah, we all got that one coach. Yeah, we all got that one coach. For sure.
Yeah. So first week of spring ball goes really good, and one day I'm in class, and the coach is like, "Hey, Fitz, you need to come by the office. We have something extremely important to talk to you about."
Oh, man, I seen this on ESPN.
He's like, "Oh shit, they about to cut me."
You got the video?
I seen this.
Damn, I thought I had a good spring.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, okay, so how am I going to explain to my parents that I just got kicked off the team? So that's what I'm saying.
She's like, what did I do? It's just sitting there thinking the whole goddamn time, walking to the office, what the fuck did I do? How did they find out?
It's like,
who told them?
Who snitched? Who snitched? That's a real question. Who snitched?
Who told them? Oh, shit.
Shit, I thought it was good. Yeah. I thought y'all was family.
So I'm like, okay, all right, let's get it together. So I walk in there, and everybody on the coaching staff is in there. And it's funny, so the head coach is going over my plays that I messed up or errors.
Yeah. That pit in your stomach growing and growing, huh?
So I'm just like, I guess I'm going to have to go straight. So he's like, with all that being said, we're still going to offer you for a scholarship. And, it felt like the monkey was off my back.
Right.
A sigh of relief, and I was elated. I couldn't have been any more excited. The first thing I want to do is leave there and call my parents. So we talked a little bit, and then we left. We went to the head coach's office. We spoke for a little bit after that. And the following day, I signed the scholarship papers. And I think that would be a moment in my life that I would take with me forever, because just the process of getting there initially, as I said earlier, they told me you have to come back in the spring, and it was kind of weird because I was almost like homeless to a certain extent, because I have all my stuff in Birmingham. I packed everything. I'm under the impression that I'll be starting in the spring, so I have like 3 to 4 luggages and suitcases and a backpack. And they're like, you know what? You have to come back in the spring. And as I said earlier, my dad's like, you're not coming back. So I was like, what am I going to do? So luckily enough, he supported me, and I was just in and out from hotels and motels, just, know, just trying to grind, just to get myself in that position, to show what I can and cannot do.
Yeah.
So when I did get that scholarship and signed the scholarship papers, it was just an emotional moment for me, because everything that I had to sacrifice, the hard days. And then initially, sometimes if people can't necessarily see your vision and understand your goals and your endeavors, they're going to think it's stupid, and they might laugh at you or they might disagree. So, and that's cool. But just signing that scholarship just made everything worth it.
For sure.
Sign the scholarship, and we start the football season. And this is the inauguration season. First
year in.
I was gonna say, go ahead.
No, I was like, first season back, right? UAB has had their stuff canceled. All those kids previously they're gone, they're done, and now you guys are officially back, D1, back in the ready to play these games, bro. Tell us about that experience.
So the first game, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little overwhelmed. I'm going to be honest, because the problem is,
you piss yourself.
I was just so used to. Overwhelmed,
bro. I know. You did. I mean, like. That shit happens. That shit happens.
No, that's real shit,
bro.
Though.
My first game, I went to Georgia Tech, bro. I literally almost shat my pants. I literally had to run to the bathroom right before people were walking to the field, because I was like, bro, I'm going against an All-American. My first game, I'm a redshirt freshman. Damn, like 19 years old. Like, bro, but yeah, go ahead.
Little humble brag.
Because the worst thing you can do before a game is look into the stands. But obviously, as I got older in my career and the more games that I started and played, that wasn't anything to me, because it just came with repetition. So it's another game.
I'm here.
But the first game, it took me a little bit of time to get settled in, because I'm usually used to playing in front of a crowd of 500 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, maximum. Right. So the first game had a huge turnover. I mean, we sold out Legion Field. In the stadium, we had 55,000 people in the game.
Damn.
Yeah. This is a huge deal, because obviously it's a return, and part of the main reason why the UAB football team was initially shut down was just because there wasn't any much traction or turnover, or there wasn't much any interest in the football team, because historically UAB was one of the worst FBS football teams, and they're fairly new in their defense, because their first year playing division football was in like the 1990s. And then we all have illustrious histories like Alabama, Auburn, Ohio.
My school was actually beating UAB at that time. UNA was a D2 school, and like we were ahead in like the rankings for everything UAB, and we were like, God damn.
That illustrates how poor the program is. And the weird thing is, they always had so much talent. Right. And I think the coach that's there now, he did an excellent job of organizing and what's the word I want to use? I would just say the organization of the football team.
Maintaining,
probably the main thing that was able to bring everything together, because you had guys like Jordan Howard, Steve, JJ Nelson, Kennard Beckham.
JJ Nelson. I remember that boy. That boy was nice back in the day, bro. The receiver. Joe Webb, those type of guys. Roddy White.
Roddy White?
Roddy White.
Wait. Did you just say Roddy White?
Roddy White.
Y'all don't even know this.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
The dude who was going off with the Falcons, Roddy White.
Wait, the guy that I've been going off, who's gonna be the main guy because Julio Jones is gone. Oh my God, that Roddy White, that's crazy.
That's crazy, boy.
That's crazy, boy.
The talent was always there. They always had, because also Birmingham is the most viewed city in America. They consume football more than any other city in America. So they eat, breathe, sleep. I mean, like,
it's not even close, bro.
I believe
if it's not God, it's football only. So that just goes to tell you. So the talent is
crazy down in
that makes sense.
It is the religion.
World.
Yeah, bro. If it's not God, it's football, bro. That's probably the most truest thing I've ever heard from the South.
It's a requirement. Like the football, in Alabama is a requirement. It's not an extracurricular activity. It's
You're
not
doing
fun.
it. Yeah. If you're a male, you are doing it at some point in your life until you just be like, I'm tired of it, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad.
Well, that's too damn bad, boy.
Birmingham's a bad place to want to be an artist.
Facts, bro.
No one gives a damn about your vision, boy.
Take that shit on somewhere else.
Damn hippies
to New England and paint.
Go to those liberal arts schools. Fuck out of here. Real talk.
No, and you guys don't even exaggerate because you see like I don't want to like feed into stereotypes and those things, but you see like the nerdiest guys, you know. All the way up, glasses, like scoring, like
stiff dudes,
football, 60 yards down the field.
Yeah.
So it's like
really,
it's a requirement. Everybody participates in football, right? So initially, I don't think the talent wasn't there, but in the fairness for the UAB football team, they didn't have the prerequisite tools, resources, and facilities to be able to compete at that level. And that's also why I think we were so good because we did get $80 million that was facilitated into that.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
So we got a new facility, new uniforms, new training room, nutrition station, brand new equipment, and so on, so on, and so on. And the coach is a good salesman because he was able to consolidate all those tools, you know, that could get funneled into the program.
Right.
So, and that's also what took UAB to the next step. So we go into the next season and we're ranked 130th in FBS football. Worst team, last place. So, and it was a lot of fuel and motivation going into the season because, dang, I feel like we won 1 or 2 games. Like some major media sites had us 0-12 last worst team. So, I think the turning point for that football season was when we beat Louisiana Tech, and that was also a lifelong story for me that I'll tell my children again. Right, because Louisiana Tech at this time was picked to win the Western Division, and they had the quarterback coming back. They had 2 really good wide receivers, good defensive end, and at the time they had the defensive end that led FBS football in sacks. That's how good they were at the time. Like, finished his career with like 50 sacks. So we were supposed to lose, and this was our homecoming, and then this was also a Children's Harbor night, where tradition at UAB is on homecoming night, we're going to wear like that jersey right there.
Right behind you.
Yeah.
The lime green joint. Yeah.
So, but then on the back, it would say one of the kids' names in the Children's Harbor Hospital.
That's dope.
Oh, I love that.
No, that's real dope. Yeah. All right.
So, long story short, we're going back and forth on the last play of the game. Louisiana Tech brings out their the field goal team. I think they have the ball on their 35, and they have a pretty good kicker at the time. And the score should be 25-26, if I'm not mistaken. And we're all deciding like, damn, if they make this field goal, game over, obviously. Right. Came a long way. I remember Stacey Keeley, our defensive end at the time. He's 6'8", right? 6'8", 225 pounds. He jumps up in the air. Yeah. He jumps up in the air. He might have jumped 50 inches in the air. I'm not exaggerating. He jumps up in the air and blocks the kick. Wow. Like I'm not talking about off the edge,
like a tip. Yeah.
No, he lines up
in the middle. Yeah.
Over like you can't. Right,
over the guard. Yeah. Over the guard. Yeah.
Over the guard.
I got you. Yeah.
So ball snaps. He goes up in the air and bats it down. The kicker actually catches it. Not only does he block the kick, but he tackles the kicker as he tried to catch the ball and then make a play on the ball. So we win, obviously, and they're sick because we're supposed to be one of the worst teams. And they're supposed to be one of the best teams. So I think that was the turning point of our football season. Like, hey, we're just more than can compete. We're trying to compete for a championship.
Right.
So another time was we played Southern Miss. Southern Miss had a running back get drafted in the second round. We held them to 30 yards rushing. We went in their home stadium and beat them. And we finished off the season 8-4. And at this time, this is probably the best record in UAB history. This is our first year back.
Right.
The first time being bowl eligible since 2004. And we finished second in our division in the Western Division to go to the Conference Championship game. Lost to North Texas. And North Texas had a really good football team at that time. So, so we go to the Bahamas Bowl, and we just have a week-long party. I'm just being honest. We go there. This is,
but that's how it goes, though. You got to celebrate.
But there's a lot of people that don't know about that the bowl game situation. So, like, how does that go? Like, being down there for a week, I know you're gonna have some time practices or meetings, but like the other time, so how's it work out?
We're there from Monday to Friday, so get there Monday, games Friday.
Okay.
And typically, a team that's been there before, what they'll probably do is have fun Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, Monday, Tuesday, then Wednesday and Thursday, lock it in.
Right.
You know, we still have fun, but we got to prepare for the game on Friday. And I think this was just our first time being there, and we've never really been in that situation.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yes, we got caught up in the moment, and we got caught up in our environment. So we partied Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even Thursday.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to confirm or deny.
For 6 months, man, you beating up on the same dudes like, fuck it. We made it this far. Like, we might as well have fun with this shit. We didn't think we were going to get here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so Friday, we got humbled.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We played Ohio University, and implemented the greatest game plan specifically for what we were doing as defense. I mean, they come off in the game with a lot of misdirection, get our eyes, be really disciplined, seeing the wrong things, and here they come at full speed with split zone, inside zone, stretch. I mean, heavy zone.
Oh, they
have the guard.
Oh man,
yeah, you have inside zone. You have the guard comboing up off the zero tech on the linebacker. He's combo boom. They even get into the third level when they're breaking off long runs. So at this point, we lose 44-6 or something like that.
Damn, they're like, yo, we been here before. Y'all were having a good time. We saw y'all having fun. But we was just like, you know what? We just gonna chill. We done this before. Y'all have your fun. Because, from Friday, it ain't gonna be that fun anymore.
They sent some girls over to y'all rooms and shit.
Probably.
That
makes
know how that
Hey,
goes.
bro, remember that video you sent me? Oh, shit. That's crazy.
You trying to incriminate you right now. See, look at that shit. You better watch out, partner. Watch out, partner.
What up, boy? Oh, snap.
It was crazy. It was crazy because it took us, that was probably the best thing that could have happened to us, honestly. Because going into that following offseason, we were motivated to kind of prove ourselves and let everyone know, hey, we're just not a happy to be here football team. We want more, and we're willing to do more. So, and it's kind of weird for me because going into that offseason, I had to get a labrum surgery because I played the previous season with a torn labrum the whole year.
I didn't even know it, did you?
And wasn't until after the season. I'm like,
damn swole, he couldn't feel it.
No, that shit real, man. It never happened to me, but I know plenty of people just play through that shit and they're like, bro, this shit's been fucked for since 2 years ago. I'm like, damn, 2 years?
So you know
what I'm saying? They've been doing the same routine, you know what I'm saying? Doing the same workouts, eating the same way. They don't really feel it until they stop. And they're like, yo, something ain't right here. You know what I mean?
Because that's what they say. They say, you can play through it. They say you can play through it if you do the rehab interior, exterior rotation, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
So I think it dawned on me when we got in the bench press. We got in the weight room one day, and I tried to bench 225 pounds, and I couldn't move it off my chest.
You knew there was something wrong.
I knew
like 225, I should be able to get at least one off.
It's wrong because this dude's been benching 315 since freshman year of high school, which is not even a lie. I'm not even lying to you. He used to send videos, and I thought I was a bad athlete because this dude used to send videos of him just repping out 315. Damn. And I'm like, God damn.
High school, I wasn't even doing that shit.
Bro, I still can't. I did 315 one time in college. God.
Yeah. You did one time in college?
One time.
Oh no!
I was a squatter. I was a squatter. I could squat.
At least in the fives in college, bro.
Nope.
But you guys are much taller, so you guys' arms are way longer.
Yeah. For sure.
So I'm a lot more stout, so it's not as a long way going up and down. So I have that advantage in on the bench press.
So you just boosted up this dude's head right here. You shouldn't even say we have long
I'm saying,
bro.
come on, arms and hat, bro. I got you.
He feeling himself. Yeah.
Put the weights on right now, coach. Put me in the game.
But, so I get the surgery. I'm not even ready until camp. So obviously, hey, Fitz, that's not an excuse. You got to get ready. You know, about to play some pretty big games within a couple of weeks. So it was rough. It was a rough patch at the beginning, just trying to catch up and trying to get accommodated to the speed of camp without necessarily going through the rigorous off-season program.
Right.
So that was just a challenge within itself, but no excuses. So got ready for the football season, and we started off the season with a bang. You know, we beat a Savannah State that nobody's like. Let me not disrespect them because
Compared to your caliber of UAB, it's less than them. We got you. Yeah, we got you.
So we beat them 63-0.
Oh my God! Oh.
Yeah, so I'm sure maybe Auburn or Alabama could say UAB. Like, who is it? But because I don't want to come off as that. That's not cool. Because
right. Yeah.
College football, you're a superior athlete. So we beat them 63-0. We hit the ground running with the football season, and I just remember we had a dream season that year. I think we had 4 to 5 shutouts, maybe.
That's beautiful.
4 to 5 shutouts. Yeah. And we finished the season at top 3 in total defense, top 2 in sacks, number 1 in third down defense, number 2 in rushing defense, like number 1 or 2 in passing defense. And at one point in the season, we were ranked 25th in the nation. And we played Texas A&M. And I think and let me fast forward to sophomore year when we played Florida in the Swamp, which was just another great experience. And I think Florida in the Swamp was great for me because that's the height of college football. You know, 100,000 sold out is in the Swamp. You see the Tim Tebow and all the other guys that was in Florida been on the wall on their Hall of Fame thing. So I think after that game was when I truly started getting comfortable being in those environments where we're playing 100,000 spectators and national televised games. So we were going to Texas A&M my junior year, and unfortunately we lose, but the good thing about it is we played our hearts off, and Jimbo Fisher at the time actually said that he is taking this game extremely seriously because this is a Group of 5 team that can beat you if you take them for granted.
Yep.
Hey, Fitz, man, tell us about your last game, because I remember watching you on TV. You was crushing it. Y'all were able to, we were in that championship game. And, you going through some stuff. I remember, they try to get you for targeting and things like that. Bro, tell us about, that last championship game that y'all had. What was that experience?
So, the targeting, that was my junior year in that bowl game. Yeah, so we fast forward, I lose Texas A&M, we win the championship, first championship ever. Cool. So we played in the bowl game against Northern Illinois, and this is towards the end of the game. I remember we were beating them pretty bad, so I think their offensive linemen were starting to get very frustrated because at this time the score was like 37-12 or something like that.
They haven't been doing their job,
Yeah, so they're doing extracurricular activities after the whistle, holding and pushing. So I'm mad now. So
he mad.
They have a sprint.
He mad.
I just don't. One thing that ticked me off during my football playing days was when linemen do the shoving after the whistle or flopping on you or just doing extra stuff that.
Those are my favorite parts, bro. What are you talking about? I love when I put you down, I just lay on you so you can't get up. That was fun.
It was a pancake or nothing.
Yeah. So it's like just jump on it's too big, jump on, whatever. So.
Exactly.
They just trying to hurt you at that point. Yeah. See,
exactly.
I'm not even going to say what I was going to say.
The quarterback does a rollout. He does a sprint out. And I just beeline full speed. And I'm like, I'm not pulling up.
Bro,
I just remember.
You ain't playing with
He
this
boomed him. Bro, I'm watching this on ESPN 3, bro. I swear to God, he boomed this dude. It was crazy.
I'm not pulling up. And I hit him. I was a hair late. Threw me out the game. And oddly enough,
they threw you out the motherfucker?
Shit. Yes.
Targeting. Threw me out the game.
So what was it, to the head and neck area? The head and neck area? Come on, be real with it.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I did that shit. Yeah, I did that shit.
But hey, you should have told him, hey, get your punk ass offensive lineman better, bro. Tell him to stop holding, then this fuck shit wouldn't have happened. Each one teach one. What you mean?
Their sidelines, they were mad. They were irate. You know,
I bet they were.
So, and oddly enough, the next following year, I had to sit out the first half of the first game of the season my senior year.
Really?
This is weird. Yeah. So my senior year, I ended up getting moved to edge rusher. It's terrible. I hated it. I'm not naturally a pass rusher. I'm maybe about 5'11", 6 foot, 235 pounds. And
you'd be out of space.
I'm not the fastest guy too. I'm not like a twitchy guy, fast twitch muscles. I'm more filling gaps downhill, initiating contact. So for me in the beginning, it was kind of a learning experience for me. It's kind of hard, but lucky enough for me, I had a pretty good coach, Coach Gentry, who his resume speaks for himself. He's one of the best edge rushing coaches in the nation. I mean, that's
shout out Coach Gentry. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, with his time there, he's had 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 to 5 defensive ends at least get a shot at the NFL.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over 100 sacks. It's like seriously, in his 3 years there, over 100 sacks easily.
Damn,
and I think this would be his 4th year there. So I mean, his resume speaks for himself. But the coach that changed my life forever, that just even besides football, was Coach Brian Williams. He gave me life skills that I would take with me for the rest of my life. Right. And then on top of that, he really advocated for me and stood on the table for me because he was probably one of the only coaches on the coaching staff at the time that truly believed in me and wanted to see me succeed.
Yep.
But and I don't fault anybody for that because at the end of the day, football is a business, right? When you pass high school, this is not recreational anymore.
Right.
It's a strictly transaction, right? It's strictly transaction only. So you have to understand when a coach gives a kid a scholarship, there's an emotional investment into that, and more than anything, it's a financial investment to that. So you're bringing kids in for visits, unofficial visits that you're probably paying for back and forth, et cetera.
Yeah.
Then you also build a personal relationship with this kid's family. So there's more of an incentive, to want to see this kid here, And at UAB, I would say this, though. If you're going to walk on, UAB is the place to go to. Because with all that being said, if you can play, they will give you an opportunity. We have a lot of guys who came there. I mean, Darius Williams starts for the Rams.
Yeah.
And he came there as a walk-on. He tried out. There's another kid right now that starts at linebacker. Noah Wilder, I think. He starts at linebacker. He was a walk-on. The list goes on and on and on and on and on.
Hey, walk-on life is a life for me, bro. Like, no, for real. I was the same boat, so I know all about that. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Okay, so you walked on too?
Yeah, I was a walk-on to a Division II program, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I was in Florence, Alabama. They gave me an opportunity. I ran with that. I made sure I made the most of my shit.
It's the same thing, and so you personally.
Oh yeah, I've been through it. Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
Fitz, let me say this. So it's like you've had a crazy journey when it comes to football. You know what I'm saying? I remember we used to be talking about verbals and we getting offers, stuff like that in high school, and then going on, obviously he was definitely a lot stronger than me, but we always talked about speed and, I remember you was telling me bro, I didn't even learn how to run until college because I was over here running fast 40s. I'm like, damn, I'm offensive lineman. It's crazy. Yeah. But it's like you finally, after this whole journey, because I know 2018, y'all played, who'd you guys play? You guys won your Pro Bowl, your Boca Bowl. I remember that Faye and them would be posting about that. And it's just like, bro, you went through so much hardship, so much trials and tribulations. And then this is the first bowl game that UAB is in since it restarted its program. And y'all won. Y'all came back with a ring. Y'all came out with a trophy and really prevailed anyone's expectations. In your second year restarting the program? The second year. How does that happen? You know what I'm saying, bro? Tell us about that, bro. Tell us about that experience.
see, there's like a lot of behind the scenes work that usually the fans don't usually get to see, or the spectators.
Exactly, and that's the point we're really trying to get at, that nitty gritty.
Exactly.
We, like I said, we in the trenches. Justin's already going to tell it. Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, no, it's funny because it originally started because like a lot of the shows, like the company itself is like a sports betting company, right? And so like we started launching like a bunch of like sports shows to help like supplement the company. And so like not the shows don't talk about like all betting, but you know, we try to work it in there a little bit. But like, you know, I got to thinking, I was thinking like, wow, like when people think about sports betting and like even just like games in general, like people look at stats, they look at numbers, they look at like trends, like things like that. They don't take like the human element into account, like what's going on with like people off the field, like what's going on in the locker room, like what's even going on in like the key players' heads, like stuff like that. Like that stuff is almost arguably just as important, if not more important, than what's going on with the X's and O's or anything like that. So realistically, I think it's great that we talk about that stuff because like if you're someone who really appreciates sports and wants to know sports on a deeper level and understand it to the point where you can even start to like bet it seriously, you definitely want to know what's going on off the field.
1,000%. I mean, you couldn't have detailed that any better, honestly. Like that's as good as you're gonna get in terms of interpreting the circumstances or what leads up to game day. I mean, couldn't say any better because I think game day might be 10% of it. If you ask me.
Not even. Honestly, even it could even be lower than that. You got to think about all the days that lead up to game day. From Sunday until Saturday morning. Literally when, you wake up in the morning for the first meal, the game hasn't even started yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, because it's like, I think just to be even competitive, just to be able to compete, I think you have to do a lot more than just the basic requirements of meeting, film, training room. That's just to be able to compete. Right. I think you have to do a lot more. But just to be great, it's unparalleled. It's kind of hard for me to explain because at the times when I look back at it now, I'm like, how did we do that? I mean, because what we would do is like we would leave classes at 12, and we would sprint. We try to grab something to eat really quick from the comments and sprint to meetings. The meetings starting at 1:15, and our coach was a disciplinarian.
Right.
We're not. I mean, if meeting starts at 1:15, sometimes he might try to walk in there like 1:13 and start the meeting.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's exactly how my dude was, bro. He said we have a meeting at 2:10. You got to be there 5 minutes early. If not, the door's closed, and you just gonna be out there looking real sad and not getting no reps at practice that day. That hot ass turf, 10 degrees hotter, and you already know about the humidity. We ain't even gonna talk about the fucking humidity in Alabama. So you're gonna be real hot, mad, and sad. That ain't a good combo, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm laughing so hard because that's just so accurate. Sometimes when guys might blunder and then make a mistake, come there late, and then not only would he just ring them out like right then and there, and then make a big scene about it. Yeah, you're definitely not practicing that day. I mean, you're gonna have to be there, but your reps, I don't know. Or maybe sometimes, like coaches, they have their favorites. Sometimes, guys who they favor and they might be able to get away with a little bit more. We have those situations, but
we all have that. Yeah,
everybody had that situation, bro. Especially when you're coaches.
I wasn't one of them.
And I definitely was one of those guys. I made sure my ass was there.
New coaches, I was the least favorite. I can go on a whole tangent about my last 2 years, man, but
it ain't your time, bro.
I know.
Hey, Fitz, one more question before we let you go, man. You said you were a big soccer guy. We got the Euros going on right now. Give us a little run through. You've been paying attention. What do you think's been going on so far? Who you like to win it?
Talk to us.
Maybe slight attention to soccer, but my favorite player is Cristiano Ronaldo. And any soccer team he's on, I'm rooting for this. So whether it's Portugal, Juventus. I wish they don't go by Juventus anymore. I forget what the new name is. Or Real Madrid, lifelong Real Madrid fan. So I'm expecting Portugal. They won the Euro Cup last year, and Ronaldo actually, I think Adair or whatever it is, he might have scored the game-winning goal coming off the bench.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Portugal to win again. I think they should win again. Ronaldo is a transcendent superstar. I think he'll probably be one of the best soccer players, top 3.
And we just talked about he had the 300 million followers.
Yeah, we literally just mentioned him before. Yeah, randomly before the show started.
I mean, if we're talking about sports athlete, Ronaldo is probably as big as it gets, even past Messi off the pitch.
And see, I love Messi. Messi's my guy, but it's definitely CR7 for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you watch the game today? The Portugal versus France? Did you watch him ball out today?
That penalty kick was crazy.
That penalty was so crazy.
Yeah.
Who won?
It tied. They ended up tying 2-2 at the end, but like it was an electric game. I'm like, damn. If there's any two teams I want to watch playing right now, it's definitely these two.
I need to go watch the highlights of this.
Yeah, honestly. But honestly, hey, Fitz, we really appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Honestly, your story's incredible. Not only because I think it's just so interesting to hear such a raw story like that and such a unique story like that, but I think it just fits so well into what we talked about, because for you guys to be successful, not only as a team, but individually, you had to have so much mental fortitude, not only to walk on and do what you did, but put up with, the year off with the program and bounce back like you guys did. So I think it's just a perfect example of like what we're all about here at the trenches. And honestly, man, I feel like you definitely like have more to say, and I would love to hear more of it. So please don't be a stranger. I would love to have you back in the show sometime, man, because honestly, this is great stuff for sure.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on the platform, man. It really means a lot to me, guys. Thank you guys so much.
No, man, thank you. We appreciate you, man.
All right, fam. I'll talk to you later. Soon. All right, tell Faye and them I say what up.
Will do. I'll let him know I'll talk to you.
All
right, see you, man.
All right, man.
All right, now it's my time to talk.
Yeah, look at him. That's all this motherfucker wants to do, just talk the whole time.
There it is.
There it is.
Let's get
a little cameo, huh?
Let's get it back. All right. There we go. There it is. Anyway.
But didn't I tell you, he's a really good story, man. Like, the guy's been grinding forever to get to where he was. You know what I'm saying? And it's phenomenal, so.
You love to see. I'm not going to lie. Every time, like, and I've never even been in a position like that, but every time like I see those like videos and stuff on ESPN or like on the internet where it's like some dude getting his scholarship and stuff like that, that stuff makes you a little teary eyed. That's real stuff.
All serious, yeah.
Work, effort, energy, time.
Yeah, for sure,
bro. I'm telling you, it's not for the weak-hearted, bro. It's not for the weak-hearted.
No. You know what else isn't for the weak-hearted, and this is something we want to talk about. Carl Nassib, the defensive end for the Oakland Raiders, he made big sports headlines. He came out as the first active player the other day to be gay. In the process, he donated $100,000 to a charity that helps prevent suicide amongst LGBTQ youth.
That's huge, right?
Yeah, for sure. And so he's out there doing his thing. And so honestly, I think it's definitely worth talking about because it definitely represents an interesting dynamic. In the last player I think we saw this happen to was Michael Sam. It was a little different of a situation out of Missouri. Yeah. The Rams took him. I think it was somewhere in the late rounds. It was like 5th, 6th, 7th round, something like that. He was in the later rounds.
Definitely.
And it was this thing because he came out before the draft, right? So he came out before the draft, like before everything. And then, his career never, amounted to much. And I think, there was speculation that, that could have had something to do with it. But I think because he was a rookie, like he wasn't highly like touted, like, there was also plenty of people that could say like, no, it's just because, the talent wasn't there. So,
I'm always keep it a book. I remember.
Let's hear it.
I remember.
Sure.
I remember watching Michael Sam in Missouri. Yeah. Like even before they even like had like all that shit coming out that he might be gay. It doesn't matter. Right. It was a fact that dude was balling.
Yeah.
In college, like against Alabama, against Auburn. Remember, he's in the SEC now too.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Missouri is definitely in the SEC. Like about in the Vanderbilt, Tennessee range of like caliber of play. But anyway, he was doing his damn thing. So when draft time comes around, he does come out, and that's cool and all. But I don't know who he had around him at the time. That wasn't the move to make.
Yeah, that was definitely way too early.
That definitely wasn't the move to make. And so I want to commend and congratulate Carl Nesbitt, for coming out and doing that now because, one, it is Pride Month. We're in a different world we live in completely. You know what I'm saying? It's 2021. We just had a whole damn pandemic. Like, people found themselves and found, like, they can come out and, like, actually be themselves, like, live their truth. You know what I'm saying? But I just hate to see that, like, it's happening now because we had someone back in the day who had that same caliber or could have been the same caliber, at least, or be still around. But just how his whole PR team handled that, it didn't help his situation at all. And then people were just on that homophobe shit, like, oh, I'm scared to be tackled. Like, bro, that's just like, you know what I'm saying? He's not having the intention of like tackling you. I'm like, all right, I'm trying to. Like,
he's out there competing.
You know what I'm saying?
He's
like,
out there competing, playing.
That's dude's sexual orientation. That's cool. Like, he's not bringing it to the workplace.
Right.
Just like I hope none of the other, straight players are bringing it to the workplace, trying to advance on any of the trainers, like coaches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like you don't have to know when to separate things. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we're in the new age. Everything's going on. Bro came out during Pride Month, so once again, shout out, congratulations to him, bro. That takes a lot of courage.
It does.
Big time.
Here's one thing that I think, like, we definitely, you got to point out the difference. There is a lot of similarities, but I think so. One big difference, right? And this is kind of transitioning into my question is that, Michael Sam, we can say that like the talent was there, but he wasn't an established player in the league, right? So we can say that, the timing was wrong and it might have hurt his stock and, his prospects. Carl Nassib, he's an established player in the NFL. He's a good NFL player, before coming out, a lot of people.
Is he from Mass?
I don't think he's from Mass. I don't think he's from Mass.
I don't think he's from here. No, can we get a fact check? Oh, he's already on it. He's good. Noah
this is
good.
why we need to have Noah here more often because Noah is an absolute stud.
Yeah,
usually he already has the stats.
Give a quick shout out to Noah. Noah's been helping out. He's our producer and our new collegiate correspondent. Great guy, and he's about to give us the lowdown.
Yeah,
Noah, give the people some love, man. Give the people some love.
He's from Westchester, Pennsylvania.
I knew he was a PA guy. There's something about his face that made him look like a PA guy. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was a PA guy.
So all right, so he's a PA guy from Penn State. But again, I think the big difference is how he's solidified as a good NFL player that has a role, right?
Right.
So now I'm going to be really curious because, again, with Michael Sam, like, it could strictly have been like a homophobia thing, but because he wasn't established, you'll always be able to make the argument of the other way.
Exactly.
Now, this will be very interesting because there's no, like, you can't just say Carl Nassib became a bad defensive end. Like, he's a beast. So this is going to be very interesting to see moving forward. Like, when you can't try to pin it on play or anything like that. Like, how does it work out?
OTAs
right.
Year in, year out. He was still, I'm not saying one of the best in the league, but he did enough to stay on the NFL squad, which he has been doing consistently.
He's an asset for the Raiders.
He's an asset, exactly. He's an asset. Consistent part of the pass rushing rotation.
You see what I'm saying?
Last year he signed a 3-year, $25 million contract.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, how he's doing it is moving smart. Because I promise you, bro didn't just wake up last week sometime like, I think this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like that.
I think he planned it out strategically.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I just got my shit last year. I ain't going to say nothing last year. A whole bunch of shit was going on last year. Yeah. Now I'm really feeling, like I was saying at the beginning, he's feeling comfortable to come out and to actually tell people, to tell his organization. Did you see, like, how his organization reacted? Did you see how the fucking Chargers reacted?
I didn't, no.
Bro, so he came out with the video.
Yeah.
Then they had the ESPN statement. A comment on the ESPN video about him just saying that was the Raiders saying, "We love you," having hearts, all that shit.
Yeah.
The Chargers in the same conference, rivals, saying nothing but love for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it goes to show you that, like, it's bigger than, like, what's going on, for a football game. Like, it's a person's life.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. And, like, so many people don't hear that shit enough,
And I love to hear that. And I think that's obviously, like, what should be happening. But this is the trenches, and I gotta ask you guys a real question.
Let it hear it.
Because that's obviously, obviously it's the right thing to do, but when you got PR people running social media, that's a lot different than the dude in the trenches that's talking shit in your ear, play after play, play after play. You guys know, being down in the trenches, people talk shit. You give it to each other back and forth. Should Carl Nassib expect for that to hear slurs?
Yeah, without a doubt.
All that stuff.
Yeah, 100% is going to have that in his ear.
You know what I'm saying? Going to get real creative with some shit.
They're going to get so creative.
And like I said, good for bro for doing that. Happy that he's living his truth.
Right.
But at the end of the day, there's going to be some people that are like, yo, even if those people are really not like that, I'm really just trying to get in your head.
Exactly.
Like, this is just how I play the game because I was one of those people just talk shit. I don't mean any of this shit that's going on.
Right.
But I'm saying it so I can get that advantage, to get that one up. And like, most definitely, bro is going to hear that shit.
Oh, for sure. Chargers can tweet something, but their own line's going to say something completely different,
Yeah.
Like, that's...
And it's just going to be real interesting to see how that progresses, like as the season goes, because like not expecting to see him out there in preseason because like we said, he's an asset. He's on the team. Probably see him for the first quarter, first 2 preseason games. That's it. But like when the actual season comes, shit's gonna hit the fan, and reporters are gonna say, oh, some people are speculating this, or we thought we heard this. You know what I'm saying? That's just some other added like noise that's just gonna come with the territory of coming out and doing all this. Yeah. So you have to know that.
100%. 100%. But like just like you were saying, Steve, like bro, that's what you've been saying. Like now with Carl being this, he's well established. He's an asset to the team. They're going to be able to organize this a lot better than when Michael Sam did it. And he's trying to do it earlier because you got to think, even like, those few years back, you know what I'm saying? These people weren't ready. And you got to think these leaders on the team and leaders in management are like, oh, is this going to be a locker room distraction? Is this going to be a locker distraction? They're not even thinking about like, if he's with these guys. It's more of like, is this going to be a locker distraction? We're definitely going to have more media in here day in, day out. We're going to have people here. Are the people going to feel offended that he's some way in the locker room with all these other guys? And so I guarantee you that by him doing that at that time, it definitely hurt him a little bit. And I don't know his reps because I obviously wasn't there with the practice, but who knows what could have been happening on the field, in the field that could have hit it. Because who knows? Like you said, he was balling out in college. He could have easily been snubbed in some way, shape, or form that we don't know about because of that time. That could have potentially held back his career from what it could have been.
And I'm just going to end my last thing on the Michael Sam thing about what I think really put the nail in the coffin for his career was when he did get drafted. I don't know if y'all remember this. They kept showing us on ESPN, which really made the organization, the fans of the team, and just people in general who don't even care about it, they saw bro get drafted, right? Yep. And then he just went over and like kissed his boyfriend. And this is what? I don't even know, 2014?
No, 2014. It was definitely. Wait, were we in college?
Yeah, I was definitely in college.
We were like sophomore year of college.
Yeah, so it was 2014.
2013, 2014. And like people weren't ready for that. And you should, and especially dude was in the South too. So I'm
you gotta know there. People was pissed.
And they're bro. And like I said, I'm the type of guy, I don't care. Whatever you do is what you do.
It's your business.
You know what I'm saying? It's not me. What you eat don't make me shit. Who you fuck don't make me come. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your home business. But it's just like you had to know that wasn't really going to be the best move for you or your career right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he just did that, got drafted. You do something with your significant other, kiss him right there. But I don't think anybody was ready to see that part too. And they're like.
No, but they weren't. But you know what? It's 2021 now. It's a different time. It's a different era. It's definitely a different situation with NASA because, like we said, he's established. He just signed a new contract. He's got a role. People kind of know who he is around the league. And like we said, it's definitely a different era. So we wish him the best of luck. We look forward to seeing what this upcoming year has. And who knows? Maybe it will, be the first domino to fall and other players will come out and start doing the same.
Yeah,
You'll never, we'll see what happens. So, what's going on with basketball? We got a couple of basketball things we want to talk about. Before we get into the playoffs, though, what's going on with this dude, Caruso?
Hey,
Because you
man,
guys are just
he
filling
was-
me in on him.
Speaking
just trying to
about
have a good
dues and
time.
PR, man. Speaking of dues and PR.
Because here's the thing. So like, I mean, we live in Massachusetts where you can go into a store and look at a menu and be like, I want that weed and I want that weed and I want that weed, and walk out with it with a big old bag. And there's a cop doing a detail in the parking lot going, have a good day. And you just drive home. You could have hundreds of dollars worth of shit. Like your limit at this dispensary is like ounces of shit. So we come from an environment where it's like that. Like, you know, when we were 18, like still in high school, and that seems like forever ago. That was almost a decade ago. When we were 18, they decriminalized it, so you could only get a ticket, bro. You could only get a ticket, right? We could no longer get in trouble when we were 18 for having weed. So from there, like 10 years down the line, now we go into it, and it's just like liquor stores here in like Massachusetts and a lot of other states. So when I hear that some dude got arrested for having some weed on him, it makes me stop and think for a second and say, what was going on? Like where was he? Like what was this dude hanging out?
Bro wasn't no fill us in, bro. Because you were the one that really broke the news, Jesse. I need to get you to like come on the show for real, bro. Welcome to the trenches, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah.
Of course. He was at, I don't know what he was doing exactly, but he was at Texas A&M.
His college, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's 27 now.
So he went back.
He went
back to Texas A&M. You would think having like a career like that, you're kind of untouchable at Texas A&M. Clearly not.
You would think. You would think.
And he was arrested by like campus police for having slightly less than 2 ounces.
Dude.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
They must have been Golden State fans. What you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean,
you play with LeBron? No way, man.
Fuck out of here. Look, get the fuck out.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, dude. Like, I mean, you know, this dude shows up. He's 27 years old. He's got a couple ounces of weed. He might just look like the campus drug dealer, right? They're walking around too. But no. Bottom line, I think it's stupid as shit. Like, I don't know how you can't be like, hey, I'm the dude whose face used to be plastered all over here. Like, I'm in LA. Like, I know it seems like a lot,
Did you not see me on TV last year, bro?
Yeah, legit. I literally would have broke it down logically. I would have been like, I know this seems like a lot for you guys, but like one state over, I can go in and buy this with my debit card. So like literally, bro, like that's what I would have just broken down logically.
I mean, if you didn't watch basketball, just like is a hypothetical world where you're not watching basketball, you pull up a picture of Caruso.
No.
There's, bro, honestly,
I know what you're about to say.
He dead ass could look like a drug dealer. Bro, dead ass.
I knew you were gonna say
he's bald. He's not even that jacked, bro. I swear to God, he doesn't look like he worked out.
Doesn't look like an NBA
player. If it's nighttime, you're at Texas A&M. This dude's a Laker in LA. Why the hell is he in Texas A&M? And all of a sudden, you walk around those weird.
Hey, that's the Excuse me, bro.
Excuse me, old man. Why are you here selling weed to children? You need to leave. We're gonna arrest you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those cops definitely thought at the other side it'd be like, oh damn, we just arrested somebody that is definitely more valuable than us.
Honestly, yo, if you put a picture of him up on the screen and we said, all right, which option is it, A or B? Is he an NBA guard, or a drug dealer?
Wait, can we do that? Can we put a picture on there and just label out the Lakers?
Yo, honestly, I'm not even joking. We're gonna put that up on social media later tonight, because I'm not even joking. If you just put a picture of him and you didn't know who he was, like you weren't a sports fan.
I hope you guys can see that.
I really hope they can see this.
I really hope they can see it. This is gonna be up later,
this, bro. For real, look at him.
Bro, he looks like the drug dealer that shows up to the late parties, that stays around because he has nowhere else to go.
He looks like
no good,
he looks like that
Literally.
dude who rolls around in Providence in like a wife beater and is offering like coke to like the local kids.
Yes, definitely.
This is the one. Exactly what you're talking about.
That's the one, Daniel's son.
This is the one
Yes.
that he's talking about for Providence.
He paid like $4,500 in like bond and fines. So
That's nothing.
it was nothing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But did he
That's
get
my whole bank account.
did he get charged with it? Like, did he get charged something? Did he like?
There was charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and marijuana possession. He paid $552 fine, and then it was $4,200 for bond.
That's crazy.
That sounds like a waste of fucking time, bro.
Look, not to get too deep down the rabbit hole, but we got to get our shit together, because, like I said, it's crazy when you can go and to a store in 50% of the states and just buy weed with your debit card, and the other 50% you're still getting locked up.
How is this the United States? Ain't nothing united about any of these laws.
We are the least united.
It actually
States.
wasn't. It was on campus, but it was like on I guess they have like an airport. He was trying to board a flight with like weed and a grinder.
That's dumb.
Oh,
That's
so
dumb.
wait.
Oh,
So
I thought he was on campus.
Hold on. So the story's changing. So
Yeah.
I'm picturing this dude showed up to campus to relive the glory days. He brought some weed to smoke everybody up. Like he got like stopped because they were probably like, "Who are you, sketchy old man?"
Right.
And he had a couple ounces of weed on him, and they were just like initial reaction. All right, let's get this dude down to station, see what's going on. And then now we're finding out he tried to bring 2 ounces of weed just on a plane.
I thought you said it was campus police. What campus police is at the airport?
Texas A&M Police Lieutenant Bobby Richard. I don't know.
God damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
You fucked it up, Bobby.
Yeah.
Classic Bobby.
This is all right. I feel like there's definitely a twist to the story that the four of us are missing because like there's something I'm missing.
No, like there straight up has to be.
That means he didn't like bring the weed from LA to Texas A&M. He like
He got it from Texas. He got it in Texas.
Yeah.
Like straight up got it in Texas.
So he was like he wasn't the drug dealer. He was like drug buyer from like from the actual college drug dealer.
Man, that dude just wanted to chill.
So he went, bought weed at college, tried to leave to go to the airport, and they caught him. They probably asked him.
He used to remember this dude on campus when who was a freshman when he was a senior. That had some
Like, bro,
fire
you
nuts.
play with LeBron James, bro. You're in LA.
He's
You
like,
don't need to do this shit,
he's like,
man.
damn, I think that dude's doing a 50. I'm gonna hit him up,
Bro, that shit was the stickiest shit I've ever had in my life, boy.
Oh yeah.
Hey. Ben Simmons, though?
Oh man.
Anti-buckets, Mr. Anti-buckets. 120 million anti-buckets.
At this point, I know. Again, let's bring it back to the trenches. Let's bring it back to like the mental aspect. It's all mental, right?
I'm trying to figure out why. I'm trying to figure out how, where, when, why, who. Who was he afraid of?
And when?
I don't.
Was he afraid of Ice Train again?
Clearly.
I don't know.
Did you see the play? I mean, everyone's been like non-stop talking about that one play where he was literally under the bucket. The only one next to him, Ben Simmons, 6'10", and Ice Tray. You know, I saw him. He's like, he's 5'10", 5'11". They stat pattern. They got him, and he's like right in front of him. And instead of just dunking on him, he passes off to a dude in double coverage. Like, yo, what are you doing? You know you were afraid at that point.
I'm trying to tell you, you'll be a franchise player on the Harlem Globetrotters, bro.
I remember you said that shit.
I'm dead ass serious. Like, all those unnecessary, not even just passes, right? Unnecessary passes. You are a point guard. You were a skill point guard for this reason, right? You went to LSU. You did all this shit. You have Joel Embiid out there with you, who's on one fucking foot. Seth Curry. You have Steph, little brother, right there. Like, he's gonna help you, and you're just doing dumb shit, bro.
You got one leg.
Bro, he had a combined, I think it was like 18 points in the final 3 games of the.
He didn't shoot shit in the fourth quarter since game 3.
I mean, look,
Since
Literally,
game
legit.
3.
My bitch with him was always this. Look, I get it when he first came into the league. They said he was a raw talent. He was a freak, but he didn't have a shot, right? And I said, that's okay. You can work on a shot. You can develop a shot. And even a few years, like 2-3 years into the league, into his just in the league, I said, you know what? Even if he doesn't have the best shot, if he's still an athletic freak and he drives and he dishes and he facilitates and he goes hard to the hoop, he can still get his points and be a game changer. But he doesn't even do that. He doesn't find his shots. He doesn't
2 inches away from being 7 feet tall. 6'10" now.
And he handles the ball like a point guard and he can't find a shot for himself.
Dunk that motherfucker. No, like for real, because now I'm getting mad at this point because like, yo, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, how could you make all that money and just be like, oh, yeah, I guess I just had to go back in the lab and get better? Like, bro, what are you saying? Trae Young's like 5'11", maybe 6 feet tall, and he's just doing floaters. Who the fuck are you afraid of on the Atlanta Hawks?
Bro, literally.
Like, it doesn't make any sense, man. Like, and that's why I'm just so pissed off with him, bro.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm 100% with you. And sometimes I look at this and I'm like, bro, honestly, this isn't the first time the 76ers went through some stuff like that. Number 1 draft pick, Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
One of the best. Who was supposed to be one of the best guys coming out of college.
Goodness, we
and what happened? No, but what happened,
I wasn't
bro?
sold
The
on
guy
that.
was became an absolute mental case, during the Sixers. But he's been on the Orlando Magic, and he's been playing like a really decent player. And granted, not a number one pick, but he's still a decent player from what he was on the 76ers. So it makes me think: is it the process that is messing up these young boys? Is it, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Is it really Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz's fault that they're at this point, in their, they were at those careers? Or is it really
you think so?
The operations? Is it the coaching staff? Is it the team that is ultimately bringing down?
So you're putting this in the Sixers. You're putting this in the Sixers.
But
I'm thinking
Elton Brand stepped
on
down?
the process, on the
No, he's putting on Joel. Like, just straight up, he's not even putting
just
on.
became
Like,
Renee's. I didn't say that, bro. I got you.
No, I know who you're saying. And he's not even saying the front office. He's saying it's Joel. But that's why I'm like,
wait, you think it's Joel?
That's who he's saying.
I'm thinking the whole organization, the whole players, coaches, administration, that it's like we've been trusting the process, we're doing this, that, and the other thing, but all these young boys are trying to come up and they're putting too much. But
who said trust the process though? You feel what I'm saying? So like that's where we're ultimately getting back to. He's trying to say it's Joel, but I'm saying if it's Joel, right? And Elton Brand was there, and then he was demoted from head of basketball operations, and I don't even know who they have, someone new up there, but it's definitely someone new. Is it really Joel when he's fucking hurt, like hobbling around, like on one knee, falling, flailing, but still scoring, still rebounding? You know what I'm saying? Is it really his fault?
I mean, look, I think, and we got a few more topics that we want to touch on, and only a few more time. But real quick before we move on, I think the only way to tell will be, look, kind of like you said with Markelle Fultz, like he came in. I would even put it, you could argue that he came in, he maybe wasn't ready to be the number one pick, the highly touted. Yeah, he wasn't ready to be the man. He had to fail, have a change of scenery, go somewhere where the expectations were a little less. He got the monkey off his back of already failing, and now he's coming into his own, right? Maybe Ben Simmons goes somewhere now that he's failed. He gets the monkey off his back, and he expectations are lowered. He comes into his own. So we'll definitely see. I'm curious. I don't want him anywhere near a Celtics uniform, but I'll tell you this though.
Harlem.
I mean, we did get rid of Kemba.
I'll tell you, if that dude ever can get his head right and figure out a shot, he's gonna be a dangerous player.
Oh yeah,
very dangerous player.
Very.
But like one last thing, is the process dead? Are we still trusting the process?
The process is no longer.
Process is done. I'm
longer.
anti-process.
Process is only as efficient as like what you're willing to put into it.
I mean, they were the number one team in the Eastern Conference. Joel Embiid throughout the season was supposed to be the number one, decided to be, MVP player. But then what happens? They couldn't have been in a better position, especially with injuries in postseason, and they still couldn't do it. So honestly, sorry, process is dead. Philly, you're done. We'll see what happens.
Nets, I'm not even gonna talk about.
Blow it up.
Bro.
Blow all that shit up.
I'm not even gonna talk about the Nets.
Start over.
We're not even gonna talk about the Nets. They piss me off.
No, actually, the Nets made me pretty happy. Honestly,
you'll watch your feet, KD.
Like straight
it
up,
doesn't make any goddamn sense. But no more than it makes sense than polyester P. I don't know if you guys know about this guy, formerly known as Playoff P. Where he at? Can you tell me?
Can I be honest? I don't even know if that like.
Can you tell me?
Look, this might sound crazy, but like Devin Booker is just so like he's just that dude. Like honestly, I think everyone else is just falling behind the way. Like I don't think anybody can rise to the level of this man. I'm telling you right now.
This sounds really familiar to what I was saying.
Stephen A. Smith, I watched him the other day, and look, I might not think he's the smart, like the best, sportsman out there, but I watched him and Magic Johnson and Max Kellerman sit around a table and call Devin Booker the next Kobe Bryant. Yeah. And look, I'm not saying they're 100% right, but I'm definitely not saying they're wrong.
They're not wrong.
And it's almost like if he is a young Kobe, maybe like maybe we're putting too much blame on Paul George and not enough like emphasis on Booker and the Suns and what they're doing.
I've been on it. I said the Suns are going to come out the West, and I thought the Nets were going to come out the East. I was completely wrong. But I've been watching this dude play for a very, very long time now. I'm talking about Devin. And then his also number 2, Ayton, who I was telling y'all about for the longest time, is going to be a fucking problem, bro.
Bro, please tell us.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the value. The value is what they call it.
That was the value.
But yeah, like I said, bro. Excuse me, my voice is still gone. I just came back from Houston, y'all.
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
Houston fucking won as always. But yeah, man, like his vision, his finishing capability, his shot selection. I don't think people are giving enough credit about his shot selection. It's really impeccable because he's only putting himself in the prime spots to get his team in the right way to win. Sucks that they didn't let me cover last night so I could hit my parlay that 4.5.
You hate to see it.
Yeah,
you really hate to see it.
But I did like that value.
But hey, you know what?
It was dope.
You keep going hard because at the end of the day, everyone's even on Monday. So you keep everyone's even on Monday. So you keep pushing this weekend. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Monday's a new week, bro.
I'm not even worried about it. I'm gonna keep betting. Y'all better keep betting too.
I got one thing I want to say about the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, honestly, I was listening to the commentators talk about it, and it kind of pissed me off too. This new thing they started, I think, the last couple seasons with being able to watch the last minute or two of the game, like every single turnover, every single thing at the last 2 minutes of the game. Yeah. I think they didn't have, and neither team had any timeouts, and they're stopping every 5 seconds to check on every single play. Granted, there were some turnovers with the Devin Booker turnover that made a bit advantage, but it really slowed down the game. And so now coaches are over here, we got to record, we got to review that. But what they're really doing is giving themselves time to be able to come up with a play. Bro, honestly, like as much as I loved that last play with Anton and all those guys, but if they didn't have that time from like, watch this, they wouldn't be able to come up with that thing, at the end of the game. And
then there's so many certain like situations and circumstances that we could say like for any sport aspect, like rules change and rules are put in place for that reason to make the game more, fun, make it more like involved with, you know what I'm saying? Just to get that added rest. It's not like they had the timeout and like, all right, we're going to sub this person and that. You can't do it like that, but it's just a time like, all right, who's really smarter here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the athletes out here. Now, where's your brain? Who's going to draw up something that's going to get it done? You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I do like about it because it's entertainment. Well, that's all the NBA is. You know what I'm saying?
You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because look, the same people, and I sometimes I'm one of them, the same people that complain that the replay takes up too much time and all this shit are the same people that when the refs miss a call at the end of the game or when it's like football and it's under 2 minutes and a coach doesn't have a challenge and it's clearly a blown call. Those are the same people going, how can this game end like that? The refs blew that. That's not right.
And you know what that just reminded me of? Well, I'll never forget and I'll never let go. I was in a Chinese restaurant, bro. And now it was the Packers game.
Chinese.
It was so good. I'll never forget that food. But yeah, I was in a Chinese restaurant watching the fucking Packers versus Green Bay.
Yeah.
Remember the Dez catch? They said it wasn't. And they kept reviewing it.
Yeah.
That was a fucking catch. He bobbled it and then got in the end zone.
Yeah.
And they said no catch. I'm like, that fucked up the game because the initial ref said touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, ever since then, shit has been like on a tight leash.
Exactly.
On a tight ass hold.
That was honestly one of the big ones. That's
and then it set like a domino effect for every single like American sport, I could say. I don't know about anything else, but yeah, bro.
For sure. I see your point, Gordon. It definitely adds a new layer to the game because you can use it as strategy to like get yourself additional timeouts and like draw up plays, do stuff like that. And I get that, but at the end of the day, I guess I would rather work around that than have blown calls decide a game.
Yeah, I can see that. My biggest thing is more of like, I get it, that aspect that I brought earlier, but like the slowing the pace of the game.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And like, granted, like momentum swings, things, that, and the other thing, but it's like, now these dudes it's not like the whole place of the game. That's how they've been playing, how they've been balling out. Even for the teams that has the ball, it's like even just doing that kind of puts themselves at a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? So,
sure.
That's my last take on that.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, we covered a lot tonight. This is a long show coming up in just over an hour, 20 minutes. Ooh. We appreciate you guys. Honestly, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. It kind of flew by. Honestly, guys, we appreciate you. Fitz Mofor, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on the show. Shout out. We got a bunch of good guests in the works coming for you guys. Maybe a pro athlete or two. I won't give any spoilers.
In the works.
But we're gonna get you guys some good names, some exciting guests. As always, catch us on Spotify, catch us on iTunes, catch us on YouTube. Follow, like, subscribe. Please get out there, share, spread the word, and get ready for what we have in store, guys. We got some good things coming, and the Instagram we'll get the social media up soon for the trenches, and yeah, we appreciate you guys each week. SK, Don Gordon, appreciate you guys.
Hey man.
Oh, and hey,
about to say,
hold on. Shout out our producer Noah.
Noah in the building.
Noah's in the building. Collegiate correspondent.
How's the weather on the field, Noah?
He's honestly, again, creator of Everyone's Even on Monday, collegiate correspondent for Hedge Better. Gonna do some big things. Appreciate you guys. Tune in next week. Trench is signing out.
Peace.
Be easy.